It's Wednesday in St. Louis, and it's time for Cardinals baseball. The Brewers are in town with a series on the line, and hey, let's make hay while we can. This is the last time we'll see the division leaders until September. The Cardinals, with a win tonight, could take 2 out of 3 in this series. Hi again, everybody. Chip and Brad, great to be back with you. Great ball game last night, except for the result. Milwaukee wins it by a final score of 3-2. And Brad, the Cardinals in this stretch of days without a day off made a bevy of roster moves in preparation for Game 3.
Yeah, they certainly did. Look, you know you got to use your entire roster. Well, you've got your Liberty Mutual Insurance field coverage. Matthew Liberatore is up. James Nail option down. Dylan Carlson, you know he's been dealing with the ankle. He is placed on the IL. They bring in Oscar Mercado, and to make room on the 40-man, Packy Naughton was transferred to the 60-day IL.
You mentioned Matthew Liberatore. He was dealing at AAA for Memphis, and the Cardinals, Brad, are going with a 6-man rotation now.
Well, they have got a bunch of games, 18 games in 18 days, and it's a perfect time to do it. Matthew Liberatore, you see the numbers, 56 punch-outs in 46 innings at AAA, and we saw this in spring training. He was pitching effectively with that fastball, and then he finishes off hitters with that nasty breaking ball. He's looked great. Super opportunity here for Matthew Liberatore.
Against a Brewers club that really struggles to hit left-handed pitching, a trend we hope continues tonight. Everybody's having trouble hitting the Cardinals bullpen staff. When we come back, Scott Warman and Al Raboski will break down the Cardinals bullpen as we get you set for Game 3 between the Redbirds and the Brew Crew in St. Louis.
The Milwaukee Brewers at Busch Stadium, rubber game of the 3-game set between the two Central Division rivals. With Al Raboski, Scott Warman with you from our Bally Sports Midwest studios here at Ballpark Village. Well, Jordan Montgomery gets into the 6th inning last night. The Cardinals bullpen did their work last night and shutting down the Brewers to give the Cards the opportunity. But that bullpen, Al, here this month has been sensational.
Been very good. I mean, the 2.72 ERA in their last 12 games. They've used 7 guys in the last 4 games. They're really doing the job, and they have well rested. Helsley hadn't pitched since Friday. Gallegos since Saturday, and then you got Cabrera on Sunday. So you got a lot of guys who are well rested. The big 3 left-handed bats are on the bench tonight, so it's going to be imperative to keep them there.
Which is huge because they needed some rest with all the work they got in the month of April. Well, the Pittsburgh Pirates are chasing the Milwaukee Brewers. They were in action today. We'll take a look at their afternoon when we come back on Bally Sports. Against Eduardo Rodriguez at an ERA below 3, but Castro hits his 5th home run of the season. Buccos win it 8-0. Rich Hill, the 43-year-old, went 6 innings, didn't give up a run, and struck out 7 in the Pirates' win over Detroit. Speaking of streaking, Nolan Arenado is definitely doing that. Chip and Brad have more on the Cards' third baseman when we come back on Bally Sports.
Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. By BJC Healthcare, you deserve extraordinary care. And by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. Third final and rubber game of our series with the front-running Brewers, Nolan Arenado. It's been a donga day for the Redbirds' third baseman.
How about your Kia player profile for Arenado? 5 home runs, 5 days in a row, just 1 off of his career high. He did that in September of 2015. He is hitting everything. The fastball, the slider, driving the baseball everywhere.
Hopefully they're coming early and often for Nolan Arenado and the Cardinal offense as Matthew Liberatore makes his season debut for St. Louis. He'll face Corbin Burns and the first-place Brewers next on Bally Sports Midwest. Game in St. Louis. Yes, third final and rubber match head-to-head between the Cardinals and the first-place Brewers. Why is this game so important? Well, first of all, a chance to win another series for the St. Louis Cardinals. But, Brad, we won't see the Brewers until September. So let's get a leg up tonight behind Matthew Liberatore and win 2 out of 3 here at home.
It's certainly a lot different now with the new schedule. All these games mean a lot. You saw it the way that Greg Counsell deployed his bullpen yesterday. They wanted that one bad. The Cardinals looking to win this series tonight at Busch Stadium.
And it is a beautiful night in St. Louis. Partly cloudy skies, temperature under 80 degrees. Jim Hayes will join Brad and me in just a moment. And as we touched on just a second ago, Brad, a flurry of roster moves for the Cardinals, who send Matthew Liberatore out for his season debut, and that totally reshapes the Cardinals starting rotation.
Yeah, it certainly does. Right now, the thought is to go with a 6-man rotation, and a great opportunity for Matthew Liberatore. An opportunity that he earned. He was throwing the ball so well at AAA. We saw him last year, appeared in 9 games, started 7 of them. But this is a different guy that we saw. There are the numbers last season in his 7 starts. An ERA approaching 6 there, but the velocity has been there for him. The breaking ball is his bread and butter. You take a look at the Hyundai pitch arsenal, the 4-seam, the curve. He'll sink it every once in a while. You'll see the changeup and slider as well. I want to see that aggressive nature from Matthew Liberatore in this one.
Ali was telling us before the game, Matthew's always had a good fastball, but his fastball is playing differently. We'll break that down as he begins his first inning. That's Craig Counsell, the Brewers skipper. Wade Miley got hurt early in the game. He masterfully deployed his bullpen and won the game 3-2. The Brewers, though, have struggled mightily against left-handed starting pitcher, hitting just .218 as a club. Similar lineup for Craig tonight as the Cardinals and Brewers wrap up our 3-game series. A look at your Cardinal defense presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Brendan Donovan gets the start at first base. Paul Goldschmidt will DH for Ali here in game 2. Alec Burleson, Lars Nootbaar, and Tommy Edman getting the start again in right field on this perfect night in baseball heaven. Owen Miller is going to lead off for Milwaukee. He's reached base in 18 straight games and has a 9-game hit streak. Let's see if Matthew can stop that here in game 3 tonight. Miller hitting .329 and up and away at 94 miles an hour. 1 ball, no strikes. Liberatore was 4-1 with Memphis. And that floats in, says Bruce Dreckman. He's got the plate to ball and to strike. What's your Toyota key to the game tonight?
For Matthew Liberatore, it's don't change a thing. He got called up for a reason. The way that he was throwing the ball in Memphis, he doesn't have to change anything here at the big league level. Continue to attack. Good 95-mile-an-hour fastball at the top of the zone. That was one of the things that they really wanted him to go out and focus on. Prove that he could throw that fastball with more velocity for an entire game. That's what he's been doing in his 8 starts in Memphis. And then be able to finish hitters off with the breaking ball.
Strike 3, 96 and a paint job. Good start for Liberatore. 1 up and 1 man down. Mentioned his fastball has always been good. Ali said it's a different looking pitch. Maybe that's an example.
It's ticked up a little bit in velocity. It's got more ride on it, this time at the bottom of the zone at 96. And that is going to be the key, and it has been true throughout his 8 starts. That velocity stays there with him throughout the game. There's 96 upstairs. So you think about that from a hitter standpoint, you see 96 up there. Then he has that big breaking ball that is well above league average in the drop that it has that you can throw off of it.
William Contreras, the second Brewers hitter, pops that one into the seats, foul and out of play. Contreras has been a cold hitter for the Brewers, just 1 for his last 14. And 6'5", 215-pound left-hander Matthew Liberatore has him set up. Little roller, slowly hit towards short. And that peg to first is in plenty of time for out number 2. You said don't change a thing for Matthew. This is not his first go-around in the major leagues. That said, how hard is that to adapt that mindset, knowing that what might work in AAA might not be as successful here?
You know what? I'm sure that that's part of the talking point. We saw Dusty Blake there, the Cardinals pitching coach. I think that you learn from the experience that he had last year. And you learn that commanding counts, just like he's doing early in this ball game, is incredibly important. It's something that Matthew didn't do. He didn't throw his fastball effectively last year. It was on the edges. He fell behind a lot. So I think it'll be easy for him to take that mentality into this one.
Well, 2 outs on 10 pitches and an even count for Willy Adames. Adames hitting .216 on the year. And over the netting and out of play. He is not lollygagging tonight as Liberatore. He is, as you said, in attack mode.
Well, he's using the fastball up and he's using it down also. That's something that's another weapon. We saw him last year predominantly with that fastball up in the zone.
Swing and a miss. How about that start? 3 up, 3 down, and about 12 pitches. Welcome back to the show, Matthew Liberatore. The Cardinals go to work versus Corbin Burnes. First, and now Corbin Burnes goes to work against the hot-hitting Cardinals lineup, Brad. They've been launching home runs. Boy, it'd be nice to see him do it against Burnes to win this series tonight.
Yeah, you know it's going to be a tough customer with Burnes on the mound, but we know how dangerous this offense can be. Nolan Arenado, he is on a tear, but top to bottom here in the last 10 days, this offense has been getting it done, and this guy, Lars Nootbaar, off the top, he's been getting on base at a really high clip.
Corbin Burnes, as tough as they come. 3 straight quality starts for him. He's 4-2 on the season. The league hitting just .204 against him, and the lefties have been sawed off, hitting .148. That one driven in the air towards center. Weimer going back, and he plays that one off to the side and handles it for out number 1. What makes Corbin Burnes so effective?
Well, the cutter, first of all, that he uses a lot. It averages 94 miles an hour. He bores that in on some of those lefties. He's got the curve, the changeup, slider, and every once in a while he runs that sinker up there. But to me, what makes him so effective is that he is in attack mode all the time. He really doesn't nibble a lot. He's in the zone. He's coming right at you, but he's so difficult to square up.
He's 4-4 lifetime against the Cardinals over 12 starts. Last year, Brad, as you saw firsthand, he was dominant here at Busch.
Well, just overall, he had 4 starts against the Cardinals at a 1.29 ERA, and he went 7 innings in each of those starts.
Buckled was Goldschmidt with that breaking ball. It's 0-2. Goldie, the DH for the Cardinals tonight. Ball hasn't had the best strike zone called for him at the plate. Burnes doesn't need much help as Caratini sets up away, and that skips up a ball and 2 strikes. Goldie 2 for 7 in this series, 7 homers, 23 driven in. And needs 2 doubles to get to 400 as a big leaguer. Tonight would be a nice night for that to happen.
Well, he has been a doubles machine on the season. He is leading the league, 16 doubles. Also leading the league in extra base hits with 23 of them.
The 2-2 missed inside, full count. Burnes, the Cy Young winner a couple of years ago. And the first Brewer to lead any league in strikeouts. He had 243 of them. Again, Milwaukee used to be an American League club. Now the Cardinals rival in the Central. First full count. Bases empty, 1 out. And a good at bat for Goldschmidt. Got to 2 strikes, earns a walk. So you can't defend the base on balls. Let's see what Victor Caratini, the catcher, has in store. He anchors the Brewers, Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's defense. No Yelich, no Tellez, no Winker with the left-hander on the mound for the Cardinals. We'll see if that pays off as Nolan Gorman is your hitter, riding a 7-game hitting streak. Nolan at the top with Ronald Acuna Jr. in OPS in the National League.
How about that? He's also second in RBI now as Sean Murphy just overtook him, has 34, but 33 driven in for Gorman. What a difference a year makes, right? He get his feet wet last year, see what adjustments that he needed to make. He made those, and one of the most feared hitters right now in the National League.
And he's essentially been a platoon player. He doesn't see many left-handed pitchers as opposed to Acuna, who plays against everyone. 1 ball, no strikes. Goldie a good lead. And that one hammered in into right field off the second baseman's glove. Goldschmidt around second. He's on his way to third. Gorman roasts that baseball for the first Cardinal hit. And the Redbirds in business, first and third with 1 out. And here is Nolan Arenado, who homered in the first inning again.
Nolan has not wasted any time. He's jumping early in counts, early in the game, and just getting things rolling for the Cardinals. It was a forgettable first month for Nolan Arenado. He's making up for it here. You got to think, I mean, he's ready to swing early here against Burns.
Second inning home run for Arenado. They've come so fast and furious, I've gotten them confused. We'll take a 3-run bomb here, though, as that one buzzed the tower, and Caratini wants to settle down Corbin Burns, who doesn't look like himself. I think it's safe to say they need innings from Corbin Burns tonight after the bullpen usage of last night and the Wade Miley lat injury.
Yeah, bullpen had to eat up over 7 innings last night, so very difficult. They don't really have any fresh arms down there, and Burns has shown you he gets deep into ball games, and I think that's probably part of this with Caratini. Settle him down now. You can't afford that big inning here.
Next RBI for Arenado will be number 1,000 in his big league career. This would be a great spot to get it. Cardinals were frustrated last night, leaving 12 men on base. They've got 2 aboard here in the first and only 1 out. On the ground, that's slowly hit toward third, bobbled, and everybody's safe. And the Cardinals take the lead.
Well, there it is, RBI number 1,000 for Nolan Arenado. What a milestone that is. Been one of the most dominant players in the game since he showed up. The crowd is seeing it on the Jumbotron here. They're getting a great round of applause.
Arenado didn't even know. Third primary third baseman since 1920 with 300 or more homers, 1,000 or more RBIs before 1,500 career games. Eddie Matthews, Chipper Jones, and Nolan Arenado, part of a very exclusive club. So the Cardinals cash in the walk. First and second out for Contreras. And a swing and a miss. So that'll be authenticated, and that will head to the trophy case of that man, Nolan Arenado.
I'm guessing he's got a pretty good man cave by now. You know, lots of awards left and right, gold gloves, platinum gloves, silver sluggers. You can add that 1,000 RBI baseball to the mix. But the look on his face there over at first base, he's like, what is everybody cheering about? All that guy cares about is a ring. That's all he wants to win. He's out here just to win baseball games.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1-0, and a swing and a miss. It's 1-2 for Wilson Contreras. Brewers have pitched him tough, not just in this series, but all year. His brother's spilling all the secrets. That's not nice.
Wilson's really going to have to just think about going the other way with it. We've seen him drive the ball that way with authority.
And a swing and a miss. Chase one off the plate. 16 pitches for Burns, 50-50 in strikes, but that's a big second out. And Brendan Donovan is your hitter with 2 aboard.
Pretty tough to hit right here. This is a 96-mile-an-hour cutter that just starts right on the edge and tails off.
Let's see if Donovan actually sees a couple of strikes in this at bat. Man, the Cardinals had it set up just how they wanted in the game yesterday. First and third, Donovan up. 2 pitches that were not strikes were called strikes. He later struck out for the second out, and that was the last real chance the Birds had.
Yeah, and it was a game where home plate umpire Mark Wegner, he was having a good game and just missed those 2 in a big spot.
Broken bat roller hit towards second. Tarang's got it, and the peg to first is in time. Burns walks Goldschmidt. Nolan Arenado with a big milestone. His 1,000th RBI gives the Cardinals a first inning lead. The MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to Busch Stadium. Buy and manage game tickets, redeem offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Well, Matthew, there's your lead. Darren Ruff leads off for Milwaukee. It's 1-0 Cardinals heading to the second. Liberatore, 14 pitches, 10 strikes so far.
And throwing firm. You just love the fact, too, that he's attacking with that fastball. Last year we saw him go to that breaking ball way earlier.
Why change the game plan until they force you to?
Exactly. If it's working, you know, establish that fastball, then show him the wrinkle. Now he's got a chance here. He can bury Ruff with a good breaking ball down or throw that heater up again.
Liberatore was warned that Ruff didn't have his eyes facing the pitcher as he wants to work quickly. So after the warning, he toils with a 1-2 and missed inside. It's an even count. The Brewers are trying anything they can to hit left-handed pitching. It just hasn't happened much.
Yeah, maybe it's timing in the box, right? Varying up your different looks.
Driven to right. Edman drifting back and recovers shy of the track. That was hit hard by Ruff, but 4 up, 4 down as we check in with the cat, Jim Hayes.
Matthew Liberatore had gotten off to a really good start in Memphis, and he says he knows why. He told me, I got built up at spring training for the first time, so I got my legs under me to start the season. In years past, I went to spring training really just for the experience. This year, with guys at the WBC, I got more opportunities and was better conditioned to start the season. He looks sharp, doesn't he, Chip?
He looks terrific. Strike after strike. The fastball is humming. And the success that Matthew started with in April is carrying over in his season debut for the Cardinals so far here tonight. And he's a perfect example, Brad, I think, of the cautionary tale that you have to make when you trade in the major leagues. Everybody knows what Randy Arozarena has done for Tampa Bay. Liberatore hasn't had the same success nearly as quickly, but this kid's only 23 years old. There's still a lot of time before the one-loss record is tallied on that trade.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I think a lot of people forget how young he is at 23. There's a lot of time here for him to continue to develop and make an enormous impact. We're talking about that velocity, too, for Liberatore. Libby has thrown now 4 pitches in this game, 97 or above. He had 5 such pitches all of last year. So that's a pretty good example of him just letting that fastball rip, trusting it, and just building up. Again, he's getting stronger. Like, he's still figuring out over the last few years how to build yourself up as a professional, how to play that extra month in the big leagues.
Downstairs, it's a full count for Brian Anderson. And for whatever reason, big, tall, left-handed pitchers sometimes take longer before you know what you've got.
Look how many moving parts he has. When you're that big and the lanky left-hander, there's a lot to keep in order.
There was a bad miss, and there's your first base runner for the Brewers. Brian Anderson walks on a curveball, and he's aboard with 1 out. Again, think of Randy Johnson. When he was a Montreal Expo, he couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat, right?
No, he scared he scared everybody his whole career. But could you imagine facing young Randy Johnson who couldn't throw a strike?
No thanks.
No.
And he ended up in the Hall of Fame as Tyrone Taylor hits. And didn't get that. Good fastball. Fastball's been up in this game, but it's been effective. The Brewers haven't been able to lay off it yet.
Well, that's where his fastball is really going to play, especially with the big breaking ball of his. Everybody knows, like, that's kind of the 4-seam up, and then the breaking ball that you throw off of it. It's a pretty nice recipe.
High fly ball toward left. Alec Burleson will measure that one up and makes the catch a step onto the track. Taylor is retired, and 2 men are out for switch hitting catcher Victor Caratini. .273 his average, a couple of homers and 6 RBIs. One ball, no strikes. Too high. 2 balls, no strikes. We welcome the Dodgers to town. The first of 4 here tomorrow night. Milwaukee heads down to Tampa Bay, and they've got a tangle with the Rays in St. Petersburg. 2 balls, no strikes. Line over short. And 2 are on with 2 out.
I think this here to Caratini is just an example of don't fall behind. Falls behind 2-0, goes to the fastball, and ends up being belt high, and Caratini able to belt it into left.
So the lead runner is Brian Anderson. Joey Wiemer is the batter. Wiemer a villain last evening, and he takes a strike.
Really quiet in the box is Wiemer, isn't he? Just very nice, easy swing. Boy, he doesn't need a chiropractor. He comes unglued.
Homered in the 5th inning for Milwaukee last night. That tied things at 2. Had some trouble with a ball that was hit on a line to center field. That ball had a ton of cut. He missed it. That gave the Cardinals some hope against Devin Williams, but it didn't pay off. Brewers won 3-2. And Wiemer said he models his game after Hunter Pence.
Well, it's all coming together now then.
Right? We gave Hunter Pence one of the all-time great nicknames, I thought, in Atlanta. We called him the Praying Mantis.
Oh, that's great.
Looked kind of like a great
mantis.
Yeah,
I can see that.
1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Liberatore some 2-out trouble, but strikes out his 3rd man. Matthew looking sharp. Shutdown inning. Cardinals look to add to a 1-0 lead. One of the things, Brad, that makes Corbin Burnes so tough, you know what's coming, but you still can't hit it. Here's what we mean, our AT&T Fiber fast pitch.
Yeah, most strikeouts with 1 pitch. He's 5th, 277. I'm with that cutter. A lot of really good pitches on there. That Kevin Gausman split finger, one of the dirtiest pitches in the game, and the most strikeouts with that one. But that's the thing. Even if you know what's coming, good luck squaring it up.
Alec Burleson leads off for the Cardinals in the 2nd. 7-8-9 due against Burnes as that's boxed at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. A lot of tough hitting luck for Burleson of late. He's been barreling stuff, hasn't found any holes yet. Hopefully tonight's the night for that. On the ground to 2nd. No hole there. Terang's got it. Pegged to 1st. And there's your 1st out. Paul DeYoung, your hitter. But first, a quick word from BJC Healthcare. Paul DeYoung, 4 homers, 7 RBIs. First pitch popped up. This one in foul ground. Darren Ruff onto the warning track, and Burnes quickly 2 outs. And Tommy Edman, your hitter. What a series he has had. Edman 7 hits against Milwaukee in the first 2 games. He's riding a 5-game streak as well.
A little bit of a milestone for Tommy today too. This is 500th big league game that he's appearing in. He'd love to add to some of those numbers.
Cardinals have gotten a lot of good work out of the bottom of the order. It turns things over to the top. And Edman's had a big hand in that. Nootbaar as well. As that's in for a strike. That's when an offense really flows with the DH. And look at where the Cardinals rank.
Yeah, I mean, Tommy Edman is such a versatile player, and he's been getting a lot of these at-bats out of the 9-hole. You know he's got gap-to-gap power, sneaky pop with the home runs, and gets on base.
That's down the line. Nobody's catching that. And it's 0-2.
Well, again, interesting. We see Tommy, he picks different pitchers that profile better from the right side, going right on right here against Corbin Burnes. Trying to take away that cutter, you would think. I think that he likes that going away from him as a right-handed batter as opposed to boring in on him as a lefty. And you mentioned it earlier, Chip, the numbers against the lefties, 148 average, 463 OPS against Burns. Seems like a wise decision here for Tommy.
Just inside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 10 hits for Tommy in this 5-game hit streak, one of them a home run. Let this guy work. He's had an easy inning so far. Right back where it came from. Edmonds got a 6-game streak. So good production out of the 9th spot, and Nootbaar will be the batter with 2 outs.
Well, that's the exact pitch we were just talking about. It was the cutter here from Corbin Burns. It is going away from Tommy, but he extends the arm, reaches out, and shoots it right back up the box, nearly catching Corbin Burns and gets something going.
You could tell how hard hit that ball was. It knuckled off the bat. Perfectly squared up. Now Newt. Edmund leads at first and is chased back. See if the Cardinals think about running here with 2 outs. You've got your leadoff hitter Nootbaar in the box. Good lead. Not going. And a sinker low. 1 ball, no strikes. A 1-out walk and an infield hit for Arenado. His 1,000th RBI is the first and only run of this game. Runner goes. Pitch a strike. Throw to second. Not. Good play by Adames to keep that from sailing into center. And Edmonds says, not my first rodeo. He'll stand at second with 2 outs.
Some said I play those games too. His 6th stolen base of the season. Corbin Burns not the fastest to the plate, and a throw that was definitely way too high there by Contreras. A base hit gives you a run.
Downstairs. Two balls and a strike. Nootbaar's had a super series. You know he's not afraid to take ball 4. He's working the count now. Little roller hit towards second. Tricky hop. But the peg to first will retire Nootbaar and the Cardinals, who lead 1-0 with the 9-1-2 hitters for the Brew Crew coming up. Our 3rd inning tonight is presented by Jimmy John's. The Cardinals lead 1-0. Nolan Arenado as the game's lone RBI. Matthew Liberatore has struck out 3. And he is using that fastball with great effect in his first 2 innings.
Yeah, it really is. 33 pitches. 23 of them have been the fastball. He's got 9 curveballs and thrown 1 changeup.
So the Brewers haven't been flabbergasted yet, but so far so good for Matthew, who now is part of the Cardinals rotation, which will be a 6-man rotation for the next couple of weeks. Turang drives one toward left, shallowly hit. That'll curl toward Alec, and there's your first out. One away here in the 3rd inning. The Yachty Tumbler giveaway is back on Friday when the Dodgers are here for Game 2. 25,000 fans 16 and up take home their own stainless steel tumbler featuring Yadier Molina. That's courtesy of Coca-Cola and Quick Trip. Go to cardinals.com/promotions and get all the details. Miller struck out looking to start the game for Milwaukee. He's reached base safely in 18 straight games. Make it 19. Will the ballpark hold that? It will. It'll bounce off the fence. And Owen Miller with a 1-out double represents the tying run.
Well, Owen has been hot, as you mentioned. We know the numbers against lefties, coming in hitting .387 against him. Tried to sneak the fastball at 95 by him. Your Chevy pitch track, and he was just able to get the hands in and rope a double down the line.
His 8th double, and now Liberatore with another runner aboard. Brewers just 2 for 13 in runners in scoring position in the series. Let's hope that continues. We asked Ollie too about Liberatore in particular. He had been so dominant in the first month of the AAA season. How had he done with runners on base? And Ollie was impressed with what Matthew had been doing.
Yeah, said even recently had gotten to a few jams, worked out of them well. And when you have a breaking ball like that, there's no reason to believe that you can't, in a pinch, that ends up being a go-to pitch. But it just still comes back to having confidence in all of your pitches, and no reason to believe he doesn't have that.
William Contreras, the hitter, with 1 out. Fooled him with that. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You see that pitch? I mean, that starts in the other batter's box. As a right-handed hitter, I don't know how you can offer at that thing.
It's been a good defensive series for William and Wilson Contreras, but offensively, it's been an Contreras this series for that duo. They're 2 for 17 combined.
How long you been sitting on that?
Little tapper out towards second. Far too long. Runner to third. And 2 are out with Adames coming up.
Did it work like you wanted it to?
It got the reaction from the truck I totally expected. So, yeah, can't complain about that. Here's Adames, who struck out his first time up.
Was it just a series of groans?
Yeah, well, it's par for the course. As we approach 7:30 and high, 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, first at bat, Matthew Liberatore punched out Willy Adames with his best fastball of the day. He struck him out with 98 away.
Ooh. No swing.
You see Wilson Contreras back there being very demonstrative, saying, hey, get it in here off the plate. Right now with Willy Adames, he's not covering the ball away well, but if you leave a strike in middle in, that's the pitch that he can hammer, but there is room inside off.
Behind in the count, flips up a curveball. Now it's 2-1 for Adames. Guy's got big time power, but knock on wood, he hasn't shown a lot of that this spring. Adames at 216 coming into play tonight. Back to the mound and up the middle. Long hop throw and the stretch. Got him! What a play! Nolan Gorman saved a run. Gorgeous play up the middle. Big curveball. Big arm. Early lead for the Cardinals. Third inning presented by our friends at Jimmy John's. Man, talking about preservation. A great play by Nolan Gorman saves a run. He made an off-balance throw on the third base side of second base and got a fast runner.
We all knew that Gorman had a good arm. I didn't know it was that good on the run across his body to make that play.
So here in the third, the Cardinals have Goldschmidt, Gorman, and Arenado. Paul's the only man to score so far tonight. And quickly, 0-2. What's your favorite Jimmy John's?
I like the Italian. Can't go wrong.
That's hard to beat. 0-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. That cutting away from Goldie. There's out number 1. And here is Nolan Gorman. Speaking of Jimmy John's quality at bats. Look at the improvements for Nolan Gorman.
Well, he is just out there doing his thing. Look, the swing percentage, very, very close. The chase percentage, he ain't chasing a lot, but look at the strikeout percentage in May. Only 12% as opposed to 27% in April. Being more selective and just squaring up baseballs.
He's really benefited from the banning of the shift, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, well, he's smoking the ball through the right side. And you're right, last year you have 2 guys standing there. So he's got some of that, especially with 2 strikes. He's taking advantage of that, putting the ball in play. and driving it through the right side. And then we know the kind of power he has. But I think that the next level for him is the fact that he's driving the ball the other way also.
2 strikes, 2 outs, doesn't matter to him. Hall of Famer to be or not, doesn't matter to him.
Get that sugar in, be good to go.
Just missed, popped up into shallow right. Terang drifts out. He says, take it, Tyrone Taylor, and he does for out number 2. Brian Shapiro, our fine producer, is a big fan of the Jimmy John's roast beef, provolone, and mustard, he said.
Nothing else?
That's it. Simple man. Yes. Nolan Arenado is your hitter. Infield hit for Arenado. Just how he drew up RBI number 1,000 in the big leagues. And that's all we've needed to this point. Nolan now with an 8-game hitting streak. That's what's so fun about the Cardinals right now. You've got a bunch of guys riding week-long or better hitting streaks.
Oh, everybody. I mean, there's like a fight at the bat rack. Everybody wants a piece of it. Bunch of eager beavers.
And that's even with a guy as talented as Corbin Burns on the mound, a Cy Young Award winner. And one of the best in the business, but he's down a run in the rubber game of this series. Swing, fly ball down the line, get up ball, that ball near the pole and just foul. Right at 336. He just missed another home run.
Look at this view. Tony Angelis, the cameraman right there, just foul. Do it again. Do it again.
Way to go, Tony. Push it fair next time, will you? 2 balls and a strike. Took a shot at left. This one, though, popped up. Park's going to hold this one, and Anderson puts the squeeze on that, and Burns has his first 1-2-3 inning. Our duel moves to the 4th. Cardinals have the lead.
Cards up 1-0 in St. Louis. A second-round pick of the Cards 10 years ago. Oscar Mercado's journey took him to Cleveland twice with a brief stint in Philly in between. Mercado called up from Memphis today. He told me I do everything I can to let my athleticism play out on the field. I love this game, and I only know one speed, and I hope I can bring that here. Chip, he is thrilled to be with the Cardinals.
And it's nice to have him back. 15 stolen bases, 12 doubles with Memphis. As Darren Ruff leads off the Milwaukee 4th. Mercado here because Dylan Carlson's ankle's not getting better. He's on the injured list. A 10-day stint for him. And that's unfortunate because Brad Dillon was playing his best baseball of the year at the time of injury.
He was, but there's no reason to go out there compromised. You know, he was cleared to hit from the right side. He talked to him yesterday, said things were loosening up a little bit, but why push it right now? You're going to need him in full health.
And from a big picture standpoint, you can't keep playing a man short offensively, even with the DH.
No, you're right. You're right. You need to be able to utilize your bench. We talk about matchups all the time late in games. Ollie needed more to work with, and you give him time to get right.
Out of play by Darren Ruff. Cardinals got a first inning run. Matthew Liberatore is making that stand up. Ruff, Anderson, and Taylor, the trio for Milwaukee. Driven toward right center. But Nickbar will track that down. Brewers are hitting the ball seemingly hard, but it's not really jumping yet, which is good to see. There's out number 1.
Well, that's got to give you confidence, too, if you're Liberatore. Yeah, you'd like to be blowing it by everybody and continue to rack up the strikeouts. He's got 3 of them in this game. When you see a night like this where they're hitting the ball and it's not flying, that gives you the confidence. Just go get them. Go at them. Get those quick outs.
Anderson walked on a breaking ball his first time up. And the heater misses high. 1 ball, no strikes. He sprinkled in a few more off-speed pitches this second time through the order. But the fastball has certainly played so far tonight for Matthew. Anderson snapped out of a 17-game homerless spell last night. That's what sunk Jordan Montgomery. Really disappointing for Jordan. 2 first-pitch homers cost him the game.
Jordan Montgomery can't catch a break when it comes to the run support. Hasn't been there for him. I thought he threw the ball well. He's giving you a chance. He's had 2 down games this year. Gave up 6 against the Cubs. Gave up 7 against the Diamondbacks. But he's been the Cardinals' most consistent starter. Unfortunately, just couldn't come back and win it. It felt like it was going to happen late last night.
There's a strike. Anderson was a step toward first. Instead, it's a full count.
This time, Liberatore goes with the 3-1 slider at the top of the zone. See what he goes with here. 3-2.
And it was a breaking ball that missed badly in the second inning. Now another 3-2 is fastball fouled away.
I like that. I'd like to see even more of those mixed in. Is the fastball down in the zone? If he's able to put the ball at the top of the zone and then down, then mix in a couple of different breaking balls, he's going to be tough. Look at the sequence here. A couple of 4-seam fastballs. He's mixed in a sinker and a slider.
96 in on his hands. After working up a lather on a warm night. 8th pitch of the sequence coming up. Tyrone Taylor on deck with 1 out. That time the breaking ball on time. Look at where that was delivered. And that's punch out number 4. Bases empty, 2 outs.
The pitch prior, it was a 96-mile-an-hour fastball in that same spot. This time the 78-mile-an-hour bender takes 18 off and gets the punch out.
Taylor 0 for 1. He flied out to Burleson in left. And this one headed for left center field. Long run. Nootbaar to the track at the wall. He can't get there. That ball is gone. Tyrone Taylor ambushes and ties the game with a solo home run.
Well, Tyrone Taylor was looking first pitch fastball. That's exactly what he got. It's a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. It looked like it was going to be close. This is how close it was, right off the top. They're going to look at this potentially. I don't think this got out of the ballpark.
So it doesn't go into the stands. It ricochets back onto the field of play. And this is the intent of replay. It's a boundary call. So the crew chief will take a peek at this. And I think this one's going to come back. And then the umpires will have to place Tyrone Taylor.
We always say game of inches. I mean, this thing appears to hit right on the corner. It never goes back and hits the concrete behind. There's a little planter up there on top of the wall. That would be a home run. That right there is absolutely going to be a double.
So Mark Wegner is the crew chief. He's in communication with Network Replay in New York. And whatever the decision is, if it goes the Cardinals' way, counsel might come out.
After the review, the call on the field is overturned. The ball was in play. The runner will be placed at second base.
So it's a double, not a home run. Again, that was the original intent of replay. Boundary calls, and great challenge because it was a double.
Yeah, for sure. Got eyes on that quickly. You only have a certain amount of time to make sure you get that call in, get that challenge in. Let's see if Matthew Liberatore on a humid day can leave him there at second with 2 outs.
Caratini singled over short his first time up. So it's a 1-0 game and a strike. Contreras keeps that in front. It's an even count.
And Contreras going to be on his toes with Matthew Liberatore, especially with 2 strikes. If he's going to ask for that breaking ball down in the zone, bury it, he's going to have to make sure he keeps that thing in front of him.
Swing and a miss. Turned it loose at 95. Love it.
I like that fastball upstairs. I'd love to see him bury a breaking ball right off of that one. Get it and swing and miss right over the top of it. Caratini's going to take his timeout.
So a ball and 2 strikes. Exactly what he tried. He just missed. And 2-2. Breaking ball throws him. Strike 3. Instead of a homer, it's a double. And a runner stranded for the Brewers, and the Cardinals still lead. Miss Budweiser Bash tomorrow in Budweiser Terrace with Mike Matheny. Get your theme ticket and get a Mike Matheny bobblehead. With your VIP themed ticket, you'll get access to an exclusive pregame autograph session. Tickets available at cardinals.com/budbash. What's that hullabaloo all about?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what that conversation is. It's continuing with Bruce Dreckman, the home plate umpire, and Victor Caratini as they walk back to the plate. Maybe it was that he didn't give him as many warm-up pitches as he wanted. Took an extra one, throws it down, and now they go at it.
Wilson Contreras leads off for the Cardinals. We're told that Burns got 6 warm-up tosses while they waited for Caratini to get his gear back on, then allowed him to throw 1 more to the regular catcher. And so he's back to work ahead in the count for the Cardinals catcher. Low. Brendan Donovan next. Alec Burleson to follow. Cardinals get a 1st inning run. Liberatore's look terrific. Pitch. Lined over second. There's a leadoff hit. Contreras has his 2nd hit of the series. So let's move him along, shall we, in a 1-run game.
Well, this is what you're going to have to do against Corbin Burns. You have to be able to take him the other way. He throws the cutter. This is off the plate away, and Contreras hangs with it, catches it just off the end of the bat, and takes it that way for a single.
Donovan might have broken his bat before grounding out in the 1st inning. So he's up for the 2nd time. Nobody out, and takes a strike. Donovan playing first base for the Cardinals tonight. Goldie gets a defensive night off. Oh, nice play at first by Ruff.
Brendan Donovan is essentially where's Waldo on a given day. I mean, he is all over the diamond, and wherever he is, you know he's going to make a great play. Good idea to get Goldie off his feet, keep his bat in the lineup.
No balls and a strike. I must admit, I don't know how you felt about it. I was not a fan initially of the DH coming to the National League. I love the strategy and the like. But the ability to do what the Cardinals are doing tonight is one of the best things about having the DH in both leagues.
Yeah, you know what? A funny thing sold it for me, Chip. It was Albert Pujols is what sold it for me. That was about it.
You're not a tough sell then. Ground ball foul. It's 1-2.
Oh, I was with you. Look, traditional National League fan. I liked all of the things that you're talking about, but I'll be totally honest with you. I haven't missed it. I haven't missed that part of it. I do love having the ability to utilize that position for different guys, seeing the offense at the bottom. We showed you earlier the numbers for the Cardinals there in the 9 spot in the order. A heck of a lot different than when the pitcher was there.
Over the mound, might be trouble. Near collision, ball drop. Everybody's safe. Oh, that had trouble written all over it once it skipped over the hill. Donovan has a hit, and the Cardinals are in business with nobody out.
Well, Wilson Contreras times this really well. He makes it a difficult play on Terang. Ends up screening him a little bit on this baseball, just over Burns. Does a good job of not going into the tag, and Terang, who is a sure-handed second baseman, can't make the transfer here to get the out at first.
So Burleson's got to move the runners up after the infield hit. Shows bunt, bunts it past the mound. Terang another try. It's not in time. Everybody's safe. Back-to-back infield hits, and they're loaded with nobody out.
Just like everyone in the ballpark was expecting, the burly Burleson drops down the drag bunt and ends up getting the knock. Always nice to have this weapon in the toolbox. We talked about it, not enough guys can drop down the bunt.
And Terang's got to be saying, can they run something except the option? They're trying to run him over at second base. And so a Redbird at every bag. Burns a little frustrated. He's got problems now. Bases loaded. And nobody out. Paul DeYoung, your hitter, but first a quick word from Rally House.
Play ball, St. Louis. Shop the latest in Cardinals style with your favorite brands and throwback designs. Rally House has gear for every fan.
Well, let's see what Paul DeYoung does. He popped out his first time up. Got to add on against this guy. Cardinals with 6 hits have stranded 3 runners. And outside, ball 1. That was the unwritten part of the story last night. St. Louis left 12 men on base.
The 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position against a guy like Burns. You're not going to get that many opportunities.
You make the right kind of out, you can get a run. Whoa, what a stop. Spiked. 2 balls, no strikes.
You know how difficult that is to be able to stop that at 96. Oftentimes with the breaking ball, you're ready to block it. You're not ready to block a 96-mile-an-hour sinker. He just clean picked it.
That saved a run for the moment. Outfield very deep for Paul DeYoung. And didn't get that. There's that cut. Man, that's something.
It's just late. It's just enough to miss a barrel, and it's firm. It's 96 mile an hour.
Two and two.
So now this is where DeYoung, you're going to have to shorten up and just figure out somehow, some way to make something happen. Came in with numbers against Burns, hitting .313 against him, and coming into action today.
At the knees, and DeYoung, after getting ahead 2-0, gets 3 straight strikes, and there's your first out.
Well, blew a couple of fastballs by him at the top of the zone. This time it's the cutter at the bottom of the zone. Catches DeYoung looking. Cardinals still got the bases loaded. 1 out now. And Tommy Edman, who singled up the middle on a cutter last time, looking to do the same thing here.
As we said earlier, the 9 spot has been very productive for the Cardinals. It has been tonight. Edman with a second inning single. Need to make some contact in the air. At the very least, the pitch is a strike. Edman 8 hits in his last 10 at bats.
You can see too with that fastball, you think, all right, 97 in, how's he not hacking at that? He's looking away. He's looking to hit that cutter the other way.
As we said earlier as well, this is a huge game in May, knowing that the Cardinals and Brewers won't meet again until September. It's the 4th inning of this game. This is a gigantically important inning for the Cardinals offense.
No, it really is. With the new schedule, only 13 head-to-heads against each divisional opponent. It's a big difference.
Breaking ball, 1-2.
Well, attacking Edman differently this time, went with a sinker in, showed him that big bender there. And now Corbin Burnes in the driver's seat. You mentioned it earlier. He's no stranger to strikeouts. This is how he gets out of these jams.
He's punched out 3 tonight. He's got Edman set up. And the pitch. And he got him to strike out. This is why this man has won a Cy Young Award. There is no situation that scares Corbin Burnes, but he's not out of the woods yet.
Oh, for all the talk about the cutter, that curveball, that's pretty good as well. Gets Tommy to swing over 2 of them in a row.
Nootbaar 0 for 2. Cardinals have done good work with 2 outs. Need Newt to lift us. Bases loaded. Generous strike. He doesn't need the help.
No, not on that one. Curveball that's off the plate away. Changes the dynamic potentially of this at bat.
Contreras, Donovan, Burleson all aboard with singles in the inning. Back-to-back strikeouts now. As Nootbaar awaits an 0-1. Lifted to the left. It's 0-2. And Burnes so tough on left-hand hitters with that cutter. He's got Nootbaar way behind in the count. Little dribbler in front of the plate. Dribbler in front plate. Better. Oh, is going to be in time. And that will retire the side. Corbin Burnes fired up. Bases loaded. Nobody out. And the Cardinals can't add on. National League Championship on Saturday. 25,000 fans, 21 and up, get a beer stein courtesy of Budweiser, which highlights the NL Championship over the Dodgers. Tickets and details at cardinals.com/promotions. Well, if ever the Cardinals needed a shutdown inning, Brad, I think it's safe to say this 5th inning would be one of them.
Yeah, you have the bases loaded, nobody out. Corbin Burnes able to get out of it. You see him screaming coming off the mound. He's feeling it. He's got momentum. Got to take it right back. We're seeing Matthew Liberatore now, second time around, really leaning on that curveball. First time through the order, only threw it 9 times. Second time through the order, now he's thrown it 17.
Little dribbler toward third. That's foul for pitch number 69 in the game for Matthew. He has struck out 5 men and has scattered 3 hits. Tyrone Taylor hit a ball off the top of the fence that was ruled a home run, but later correctly changed to a double.
Yeah, Corbin Burnes got a little momentum going his way. Matthew Liberatore trying to break that. Got to be careful here. 0-2. Big swinging Weimer here. You know he's got pop.
Strike 3, froze him over the outside corner. 6 strikeouts and a good start to the top of our 5th inning.
Show him a couple of the breaking balls away. Start him off with 3 of them. Then you end up throwing 95 right there on the corner. The good 4-seamer, and catches Weimer looking.
So 6 strikeouts for Liberatore is a career high tying effort. It also happened against Milwaukee last May 28th. So Bryce Terang, the 9th place hitter, is up. He flied out his first time up. The Cardinals will have their 2, 3, 4 hitters due, leading 1-0. And fouled back. Approaching 8 o'clock in St. Louis. Beautiful night. Boy, the weather's been great. Should be awesome all weekend too. We'll have the Dodgers here for 4, and look at that view. From the upper deck in right, the pitch. It's 2-2. Not a bad seat in the house.
No, there's not at all. And I love that depth, too, on that fastball. 96 right there from Matthew Liberatore. Again, showing the ability to go up in the zone with it and then down. That time 97 at the top of the zone. Wonder if he's going to try to bury Terang now with that breaking ball. You're showing him up. I think a breaking ball, even in the strike zone away, gets him.
Liberatore was consistently in the mid to upper 90s as far as his pitch counts were concerned over his last 5 starts. So he should have plenty left in the tank here. The pitch didn't chase it. And now Terang a full count. This will be the 8th pitch of the at bat. Owen Miller's had a good series. Here it is. Out of play.
I think if he sticks right there, he's going to be just fine. Stick with the fastball, stay away. Preferably, I'd like it down. Maybe get a ground ball or get that punch out.
But the battle continues. Again, Liberatore, a surprise announcement after the game last night that he'd be starting tonight against Milwaukee, a club that's had trouble with left-handed pitching. And the Birds will go with a 6-man rotation. The pitch on the ground. There's that soft contact. And a peg to first in time. And there's out number 2. Top of the order for the Brewers. First, a quick word from Great Southern Bank.
We've helped many of our neighbors finance their dreams. Let's bring yours to life with affordable options and personalized support at every step. Get started at GreatSouthernBank.com.
Miller 1 for 2, a 3rd inning double. He is one of 3 Brewer hits tonight.
Kind of changing the way they're attacking Miller this time. Last time tried to go in on him with the fastball. Couldn't get in there enough, and that's the one that Owen Miller was able to shoot down the line for a double.
That one slipped. So a big pitch in our game. A 3-0 count. They've made him work in 3 of his 5 innings so far tonight. Let's see if Miller has a green light. Oh, we'll never know. Too high. And a 4-pitch walk. Second pass issued by Liberatore. The tying run on. Wilson Contreras ought to know the scouting report on his brother William. He was grounded out twice.
Yeah, if you're Matthew right there, he said, you know what, I'm just going to ride with you on this one, whatever you think's best. He's got him twice, got him to ground out full time, grounded out to short, grounded out to second in the 3rd inning.
He's got a ton of room on the right side of the Cardinals infield. And that one taken high, ball 1. Matthew has the slimmest of leads. 1-0, a first inning Cardinal run. Back to the mound. He'll get out of it. Broke his bat to boot. How about that? Weimer couldn't hang. Terang grounds out. Miller walks. Contreras taps out, and the Cardinals lead 1-0. Partner, after we take 2 out of 3 from Milwaukee, we owe the Dodgers some payback. That's our Budweiser What's on Tap for the weekend.
Well, the Dodgers bringing in the best record in the National League. You know, they have been a very, very complete ball club. But you're right, that did not go the way the Cardinals expected last time out in L.A. A little payback will be a lot of fun here at Busch Stadium.
Matthew Liberatore, a shutdown 5th inning. Now Corbin Burns will face the 2-3-4 hitters for the Redbirds. Paul Goldschmidt will get things started. He's the only man to score tonight. He walked in the first and came home on Arenado's infield hit. And fouled back. 0-2. Dodgers got some bad news today. Dustin May left with an elbow injury. Dave Roberts said he's going to the injured list.
Yeah, that is tough. Dustin May had a very hot start to the season. Pretty much that entire pitching staff has had a hot start to the season.
And a breaking ball gets Goldschmidt to swing and miss. 5 strikeouts for Burns. 3 of the last 4 outs have come via strike 3. Our T-Mobile coverage cam. Cardinals have made a couple of great plays defensively. This one from Gorman.
I mean, this was incredible. All of his momentum is going towards third base, and he throws a bullet on a one-hop to first. Donovan picks it out, and a huge play there to cut down Willy Adames.
Nolan singled his first time up. And you made a great point in between innings earlier tonight. You think about Gorman at second, DeYoung and Arenado, and even Donovan at first. How about the arms on this Cardinal infield?
Pretty good, isn't it? I mean, there's not a throw on the diamond that can't be made there in the infield. I think that transition for Gorman from third base to second base has gone quite well. I mean, anybody that's played knows it's a significant difference going to the other side of the infield, the way the ball moves, the way that your body has to move, all of the throws. He's done a really nice job turning double plays.
You've got a third baseman or shortstop's arm playing second base. That's a big advantage.
Yeah, and a lot of times you'll make up for a lot of things because of the strong arm, but his strong arm is just a plus. I think the footwork has been really good for him. He's great around the bag, doing everything right over at second.
Strike 3 paints the outside corner. Back-to-back strikeouts for Burns, who's getting stronger. 2 away in the St. Louis 5th.
Plaza Tire Service pitch tracks get the call on the cutter. It kind of backed up in the middle of the strike zone, but it was up. Gets the punch out looking.
Arenado just missed a homer in his 6th game in a row. That was back in the 3rd inning. It was about a foot foul. And that cloud cover providing a little relief on a warm night in St. Louis. See if Arenado can pierce that cloud with a long homer to extend a 1-0 lead. Just a touch low. Well, you knew runs would be tough to come by. Cardinals had 1 in, 2 on, 1 out in the first, got nothing else. Had the bases loaded, nobody out in the 4th, and couldn't add on. As this ball is whacked toward right field, Tyrone Taylor measures that up and puts the squeeze on it. Corbin Burns is sent down 6 straight. 6th inning rolls around. Redbirds still lead by 1. Grateful Dead Night returns to the ballpark on Friday. When you buy your special theme ticket, fans get a short-sleeved Grateful Dead all over print shirt. Come to the ballpark early. A special pregame performance by.
Oh, it's Jake's leg, Chip.
You got it. Tickets available at cardinals.com/theme. Theme of this game is the return to the big leagues for Matthew Liberatore. 88 pitches head-to-head with Corbin Burns, and he's matched him pitch for pitch.
You got to be incredibly encouraged with what we've seen to this point from Matthew Liberatore, pitching effectively with his fastball. We know how good the breaking ball was, but he's putting it where he wants to. Gets under that one there. Well, this is exactly what the Cardinals wanted to see from him.
You've got action in the bullpen. You've got Adames way ahead in the count. Be careful with him. He takes strike. Generously called. Thank you. 3 balls and a strike.
I'd love to see a well-located fastball way right here. Get a ground ball.
Got the breaking ball call. That was up. 3-2.
Surprised by the pitch. Definitely surprised by the call by Bruce Dreckman behind the plate. As Adames takes his time out, tries to regroup. He was fully in command of this at-bat. Matthew Liberatore gets right back into it.
Long look in and the payoff pitch. Foul. Pitch count piles up a bit for Matthew after Terang forced a 10-pitch sequence. That was in the last inning. Another payoff. That's into the big crowd in St. Louis tonight. Figure to have big crowds all weekend with the great promo schedule and the Dodgers. Hope you'll join us if you haven't made your plans.
You gotta love seeing Chip 96 mile an hour on pitch number 98 for Matthew.
And that one taken low, and it's a leadoff walk. So our BJC healthcare difference maker, Matthew Liberatore, tonight's Cardinals starter.
Well, Matthew punched out 6 so far in this ball game, and look, he did exactly what Ollie Marmol, Dusty Blake, the entire staff wanted him to do. Came out here, pitched effectively, pitched confidently, and gets the Cardinals here into the 6th inning.
Looks like that's going to be the last pitch that Matthew threw tonight. And he'll get a big pat on the back. He leaves with a 1-0 lead, and the Cardinals bullpen in play. They got to get 12 outs tonight against Corbin Burns. Brian, we talked about the fastball for Matthew Liberatore, and that was a big part of his story tonight.
The assignment was, can he continue to throw hard late into games? Well, pitches 95 or more tonight, 32 of them. Last season, in 7 starts, only 60 of those. The fastball played. We saw his last fastball of the night at 96 miles an hour to Willy Adames as he talks it over with the veteran Adam Wainwright. Waino all smiles, happy with the performance. You know, Libby'd love to be able to finish that 6th inning, but what a performance it was as we take a look at Andre Palante, your Chevy call to the bullpen, in for his 13th game of the year.
The Brewers are going to pinch hit with Rowdy Tellez. That doesn't bother the Cardinals. When Palante's right, he chews up left-handed hitters. We'll see how this one turns out. Tellez also a double play candidate if Andre can get the ball on the ground. Adames has a good lead at first in a 1-run game. And there's a strike. Palante last night threw just 13 pitches in his inning of relief, and has struck out 3 hitters in his last 3 2/3.
Palante 3 ground balls last night. He is a ground ball machine, and as you mentioned, especially against these left-handers, just eats them up.
Tellez has hit into 7 double plays this year. And he's in protect mode now with an 0-2 count.
Well, this is how it started for Palante last night. They pinch hit Tellez for Brasso, and he ended up striking him out on a curveball. Let's see what he goes with here, 0-2.
Good try, but overcooked it. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Both the Cardinals and Brewers have played 10 one-run games. Milwaukee's had the best of that. Head-to-head, they've gone 8-2. In the closest to big league games, they're down 1-0 tonight. Ground ball right to short. Step on the bag, throw to first. And that'll take care of Milwaukee's Adames and Tellez.
Looks like Paul DeYoung on this one was very close to the bag at second. Pretty sure he ended up getting it here, but goes to the base, steps out there with the left foot to get it, just catches it with the side of his foot and makes the good strong throw over to Donovan at first to complete the double play.
Good thing that's a Triple E white shoe.
That's right. Knew those flat feet be good for something.
So that gets Liberatore off the hook. 5 shutout innings. And now Brian Anderson hits with the bases empty. He has walked and struck out. Driven down the line near the pole, but curling foul. Strike one for Anderson.
I love seeing those two talk it over again. Wainwright, I mean, a wealth of knowledge right there. Matthew Liberatore, if I'm him, I'm going to be in Waino's pocket pretty much all the time, picking up everything that I possibly can.
That shot made me hungry.
I get the burger phone. Don't know who's going to be calling the home run next inning, but I like seeing that thing out.
On ball, one strike for Anderson. Bases empty. And a little high, no swing. But that shot does speak volumes as to the value of Adam Wainwright. Heck, any veteran. You know what Adam Wainwright's trying to do? He's trying to get to 200 big league wins. Liberatore in the infancy stages of what we all hope will be a long 20-year career too.
Well, and if you can learn something from Adam, and you can learn a lot, maybe it expedites some of the learning curve, right? Something that you can pick up from him and implement early before you have to go through a different struggle out on the mound and learn that lesson for yourself. That's where having great veteran teammates, and Adam Wainwright is the best. I mean, he's there to help every single one of his guys, whether you're, going out there and asking him questions, or he'll come to you with things that he sees. What a valuable piece.
Anderson now a full count. The payoff from Palante is fouled away. Anderson with a long at bat, 11th pitch of the inning for Palante, and he pulls that. And the Brewers still have life's second walk of the inning. Anderson walks for the second time, and here's Tyrone Taylor, who was hurt by Mother Nature, thankfully.
Well, this one right here, a game of inches, just barely doesn't get out of the yard. StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. Maybe the wind had a little something to do with this thing, keeps it in the yard, and Matthew Liberatore made sure he stayed there on second base.
Palante flips up a breaking ball. Not a bad idea for Taylor, who's got one of the 3 Brewers hits tonight. Andre way ahead now. It's 0-2.
I think you're going to see a lot of this. These two together, rightfully so.
Anderson leads at first, the 0-2. He's in the dirt. Snap throw back to first. You'd be foolish not to take advantage of that kind of professional wisdom. If you're Liberatore or any other pitcher.
Well, it's something that Adam Wainwright has talked about early in his Braves career. He had the opportunity with Greg Maddux, and Greg would tell him, hey, I'll be in the weight room at 6 a.m. if you want to talk. And Waino didn't get there as a young man in spring training. And like one regret that he has of not spending as much time with Greg Maddux as he possibly can. Now, I'm sure he's made up for that over the years, and you know that he is a guy, he will listen as well and wants to take in all of the knowledge, but he wants to be there for his young teammates, his older teammates, wants to be there for everybody.
No more drama, Mr. Palante, shall we? 2 balls, 2 strikes. Caratini would be next. He's got a hard hit single tonight. We'd rather face him in the 7th. Cardinals pretty much straight away in the outfield. They play Taylor to pull with Nolan Gorman. Runner will lead. There he goes, and the pitch is lined towards center. It's down for a base hit, and Milwaukee's got him first and third with 2 outs. So let's see how Caratini will hit. He switch hits. He's approaching the left side of the batter's box.
Dusty Blake on his way out to talk this one over with Andre Palante. Cardinals still have action in their bullpen. Drew Verhagen is up.
And while the Cardinals talk it over in a 1-0 game, we step aside for a quick word from Jack in the Box.
My Ribeye Steakhouse burgers are made with 100% ribeye beef. Think of them as the CEO of burgers.
Well, as we told you, Palante is excellent against lefties as Drew Verhagen continues to warm up. Caratini is choosing to hit left-handed here. Let's see how it plays out. First and third in a 1-0 game. Strike at the knees.
A little something extra there with Andre Palante. 98 down at the bottom of the zone.
Caratini is a left-hand hitter batting .324. As a righty, he came in hitting 100. No balls and a strike. Arenado backs up at third base now. The pitch at the knees, perfectly placed. Do that again. It's 0-2.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think I stick with this heater. The Plaza Tire Service pitch tracking right there on the corner at 96. Tie him up inside.
Liberators' fate rests in the hands of Palante here. The 0-2 is on the way. He got him. Swing and a miss. The Brewers strand 2 more in the 6th. Liberatore in the lead, 1-0 in St. Louis. Brad, we mentioned how good the Cardinals bullpen has been of late. How about Mr. Palante? Gets double play and a strikeout to preserve a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, he got it done. Punched out Caratini with a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. I love the fact that they stayed with the heater. It was 3 fastballs in a row. Didn't mess around with the breaking ball. They took advantage of that inner half of the plate against him. Now it's time to get back to work against Burns. Well, Wainwright has made the call. Okay, so this is a burger phone. These guys are calling homers left and right. And in honor of Big Mac Land, they picked up a burger phone, which has got to be difficult to get. When the phone is open, that means somebody dialed it up and called a homer. And it sits in front of whoever called said homer. So look, Waino's on the call here.
I think it's because Adam is the only guy old enough to remember using a flip phone.
Yeah, that might have a cord attached to it. Which kids, that was a thing. You actually had to stand in a room.
2 balls and a strike. Little chopper foul. Could you imagine putting a rotary dial phone in a room with 15-year-old kids and say call home?
Have you ever watched some videos of kids trying to do the rotary phone? It's the funniest thing in the world.
No shot.
No, they have no idea what it is.
Let's see what's ailing Caratini here. Big swing.
Caught him on the wrist, looked like right there with the end of the bat.
Verhagen has taken a seat for the Cardinals. Giovanni Gallegos is starting to play catch now. The 8-9-1 hitters are due for the Brewers. A 2-2 count for Wilson Contreras. And a swing and a miss. This guy is unrelenting. Burns with 7 strikeouts. And after that bases loaded scenario, he got fired up, and he is backing it up here in game 3. Don't miss your chance to get discounted Cardinals tickets. Get 8 or more gallons of gas at a participating station using Phillips 66's Fuel Forward app, and you'll get 2 for 1 Cardinals tickets. For more information, go to cardinals.com/Phillips 66. For obvious reasons, we hope Milwaukee falls out of the Central Division race. But it'll be very interesting to see if they choose to move this guy and what the market for him is going to be.
I would say the market will be wide for a guy like Corbin Burnes. The asking price incredibly high, but I would think for him worth it. Hey, Craig Counsell, I don't think that he would be in favor of getting rid of that guy. Especially, look, they got Woodruff. He's on the shelf currently. Wade Miley had to leave the ball game yesterday with a left lat strain. I mean, they're in a little bit of a hole here when it comes to their starting pitching. But a valuable commodity, and look, still a first-place ball club.
Chance for the Cardinals to get a game back in the division if they can hold on to and add to this 1-0 lead. Milwaukee at 24-18. The Pirates 2 games back. Cubs 5 out with the Reds. And the Cardinals 17-26. The Reds got some bad news today. More on that after the 2-2 pitch, which is in the dirt. I did not see Nick Lodolo pitch for Cincinnati. You did, but he's out. He's got a stress reaction in his tibia. He's going to miss several weeks.
Yeah, that is disappointing. Nick Lodolo is an electric young pitcher, and I mean, arguably one of the better arms out there. They've been so high on that young man, so disappointing.
Right back where it came from, and Donovan down to 2 strikes. Hits one off the end of the bat, and he's 2 for 3. So there's a rally with 1 out. Alec Burleson with his second bunt single. Last time up is your next batter.
If you're going to get Corbin Burnes with 2 strikes, you're going to have to hit tough pitches, and that's exactly what he does here. That changeup there just tailing away. Breaks his bat in the process, but ends up serving into center.
On the ground toward first. Step on the bag, and that's all Milwaukee's going to get. Donovan moves up. Burleson out at first on the first pitch. And Paul DeJong is coming up. DeJong struck out looking. That was the first of 3 straight outs after the Cardinals loaded the bases back in the 4th inning. But all's forgiven with a base hit here. They give him a ton of room on the right side. Trying to hit it that way and sprays it back toward us. Strike 1.
Well, first inning, 4th inning, labored a little bit. Other than that, been pretty easy work here for Burnes. All it takes is 1. Saw Burnes last time up with Paul DeJong really attack him with the heater. This time started him with the fastball, went breaking ball. Still thinking that you look away, look to drive it that way, hit a cutter.
Fly ball center. Wiemer going back, still going. Track wall. She is gone. All is forgiven. It's 3-0.
Not sure who had this call on the burger phone, Chip, but it's a good call here with Paul DeJong. Talked about jumping on the cutter. That's exactly what he did. He got the cutter from Burnes. It was down. He went down and got it and hit a rocket into center field.
So the Cardinals extend the lead. Ground ball toward third, foul. Old saying, you used to dial 9 for long distance. That was the number punched into the burger phone here for the Cardinals in the 6th.
Chip, that's a reference lost on most viewers, but you are right. No, really. It was 9? That cost extra money back in the day. No, thank you. Not
yes,
happening.
It did.
Had to use a calling card. Kid looked that up, too. That was the thing.
There's the ball low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Paul DeJong's renaissance at the plate continues when the Cardinals needed it most. His 5th home run. 9 RBIs. And it was a blast to the Berman Center. Broken bat out to second. Terang's got that. And the throw to first will take care of Tommy Edman. The Cardinals with 2 outs and on. Man, oh man, was this a big blow. Burns knew it. Weimer as far as he can go. A 2-run homer sends us to the 7th. The Cardinals lead game 3. Eight of Paul DeJong's 9 RBIs this year have come via the home run. None bigger than the one hit a moment ago in the 6th to extend the Cardinals lead.
Well, the Cardinals looking to lock it up. Their Chevy call to the bullpen here. Giovanni Gallegos in on the action in the 7th inning. He has been really good last 4 times out. Hasn't given up a run.
And Oscar Mercado will join the fray. He'll take over for Alec Burleson in left field. He'll hit 7th for St. Louis as we head to the 7th. Ollie's crew leads 3-0. A chance to take 2 out of 3 from the division leading Brewers. Cardinals trying to win their 8th game in their last 10 played. Jesse Winker is going to come on for Weimer, who struck out twice. First pitch rolled foul for Winker, strike 1. Winker had a couple of hits in the first game of this series, including an 8th inning RBI in game 1. But look, it's a luxury when you play the Brewers. You can keep Winker, you can keep Yelich, and you can keep Tellez out of the starting lineup. 2 games in a row, that's been the good fortune for St. Louis. But they're available late. That's a little low. There's Christian Yelich. Winker's done good work in a tough job as a pinch hitter. Takes upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I really like that pitch. 2 pitches ago, that fastball that was in on Winker. But now that you showed him that heater upstairs, I think if you start that slider middle, you can get him to chase down under. Tried it. Winker somehow just got a bat on that, fouled it off, stayed alive. Giovanni Gallegos, we know how much the Cardinals have leaned on him. He was really good against the Brewers last year. Saw him a lot. 7 1/3. Only gave up 1 run. Punched out 9. Brewers batted a collective 130 against Gio.
Terang hitting 9th, waits on deck. Winker pinch hitting to start the 7th. Don't walk him, the pitch. And a squibber just foul. That would have been disastrous. We'll try again. Pitch number 8 coming up.
Well, it sure is nice in this ball game, though, to have that little bit of a cushion that Paul DeJong was able to give the Cardinals with the 2-run bomb. But you're right, no free passes to lead off an inning. Those don't tend to turn out right.
Just ask Kenley Jansen. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody on or out. Line into left field. That was a good at bat. 8 pitches and Winker has a single. And now Terang is coming up with a man aboard.
Well, it really was a good at bat, and it ends with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball from Giovanni Gallegos off the plate away, but Winker ends up going that way. The fact that the pitch was up allowed him to get to it.
Terang had a long at bat his last time up. That was against Liberatore. It was a 10-pitch sequence, but Terang grounded out. Brewers have hit into one double play tonight. This one skied towards center, but playable. Newbar makes the grab. No advance to the runner. Terang eager in the count. He's the first out, and Owen Miller coming up. But first, a quick word from Tickets for Less.
Tickets for Less, for a better ticketing experience. Best seats, best prices, and no surprises at checkout.
Miller's been at best. He's doubled. He's walked. He's also struck out. As we mentioned earlier, we'll become huge Tampa Bay Rays fans after this game. That's where Milwaukee heads next. They play the Rays at Tropicana Field this weekend. Tampa Bay an astounding 32-11 to start the year. Hammered to left field. That's in for a hit. Miller is aboard for a third time, and the Brewers bring the tying run to the plate. I've seen enough of that guy, and we won't have to look at him until September.
No, and he just gets a fastball belt high middle and jumps all over it. They really like this kid a lot. A couple of hits in the ball game yesterday as well. We talked about his splits. He had been a lot better against the lefties, but jumps all over the righty. Gallegos there.
Contreras is 0 for 3. He has hit the ball on the ground 3 straight times tonight and is 1 for 11 in the series. Brewers have hit into 41 double plays. That's more than any other big league team. Another here would be terrific.
He can still take advantage of this 2-0. You know he's going to want to try to get big. That good slider down. Maybe that gets your ground ball. His fastball doesn't get a ton of those grounders.
2-0 pitch. That one found the mark. Genesis Cabrera is starting to play catch. Two on, 1 out. Popped him up. Donovan foul ground, plenty of room. He's got that. So there's out number 2. And Willie Adames is 0 for 2 and stands in. This guy always scares you. Takes a strike.
Again with Adames, right now that's where you want to stay, is away. When he is on, when he's hot, he takes that pitch and drives it out of the park the other way. But right now he's been pulling off a lot of pitches. Make him pull off something away.
Adames represents the tying run. He's their third place hitter. There you go. Now we're a strike away from going to the stretch.
Well, another one of those invisibles from Giovanni Gallegos, that wipeout slider. You get some of the weirdest swings on that pitch. Hitters just unable to pick it up.
He comes set with a 1-2. He got him. Swing and a miss. The Brewers strand 2 in the 7th. We stretch in St. Louis. Cardinal Nation enjoying a 3-0 lead. Cardinals baseball is brought to you by your quality Ford dealers, proud sponsor of the St. Louis Cardinals, and by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Along with Jim Hayes, Brad Thompson, our Bally Sports Midwest crew, the Cardinals lead late, trying to take 2 out of 3 from the Brew Crew. They enjoy a 3-0 lead and won't have to tangle with Corbin Burns the rest of this night.
Trevor McGill, your call to the bullpen. Chevy call 40 games last season with the Brew Crew. Was just recalled on Monday from AAA Nashville.
On the ground to second. That takes care of Nootbaar quickly. 1 up and 1 down. This is the Honda home run inning. If a Cardinal hits one out here in the home 7th, your Gateway Honda dealers make a $1,000 donation to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Tyler McGill, the brother of Trevor McGill in the Mets organization. Goldschmidt, the first Cardinal to score tonight. He walked in the first inning. That highlights his game at the plate. Corbin Burns, 6 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, a walk, struck out 7, gave up a home run. Pitched out of a bases loaded, nobody out mess in the 4th before Paul DeYoung's 2-run homer made it 3-0. Three runs, 8 hits for the Cardinals. No runs, 6 hits for Milwaukee. It's been an errorless game to this point. The other highlight tonight, Nolan Arenado joined elite company with his 1,000th RBI, joining Chipper Jones and Eddie Matthews in fewer than 1,500 games with 1,000 RBIs and 300 or more home runs.
Really is incredible. We talk about that company for him. We've had the opportunity the last couple of years to see how special Nolan Arenado is. Congratulations to him on that milestone.
And Goldie is down on strikes. Quickly 2 outs in the 7th. Nolan Gorman coming up. Gorman's got a hit tonight and made a great defensive play earlier in the game that saved a 3rd inning run. The Brewers will have the 4, 5, 6 hitters coming up in the 8th inning. Nobody throwing in the Cardinal bullpen. Would Gallegos come out for another frame?
Well, we have seen it a ton with Giovanni Gallegos, right? Maybe he comes out, gets another batter or 2. If you run into any issues, you can always go to Helsley. Got Cabrera out there as well. Got plenty of options, but he's all wrapped up with the towel, ready to go back out, keeping that arm hot.
Two balls, no strikes. And Nolan couldn't stop himself. 98 at the top of the zone. Gill's another big dude. He throws hard, man. I can only imagine what the effective velocity is with this guy with full extension to the plate.
Yeah, for sure. Look, he has got the big arm. He's also got a big breaking ball. About ripped Caratini's arm off with 98 there off the plate.
Nolan Arenado is on deck. Narrowly missed hitting a home run in the 3rd inning tonight. He's homered in 5 straight games. He'd love another crack here tonight. 3-2 is cut on and missed, and that will send us to the 8th. Cardinals over the Brewers in game 3. It's 3-0. 1 run early, 2 runs late for the Cardinals, and that's the story of Game 3 of this series. We've got 6 outs to get. Gallegos back to work after a 19-pitch 7th inning. Tellez, Anderson, and Taylor, the trio due for Milwaukee. Beautiful pitch. Tellez thought it was outside. Now it's the Brewers' turn to grumble.
Well, home plate umpire Bruce Dreckman today, he has had a pretty wide open zone, but he's done it consistently to both teams.
A ball and 2 strikes as we approach 9 o'clock in St. Louis. And too high. It's 2-2. Wainwright and Urias here tomorrow night. First pitch at 6:45. The first of 4 with Los Angeles. And a swing and a miss. Tellez didn't get it. Gallegos has back-to-back strikeouts, and that's how the top of the 8th starts.
Well, another good slider that was set up by a fastball up out of the zone. You just see it tumbling action right at the bottom of the zone. I think that's where his slider is most effective, is just starts middle, ends under the zone.
Brian Anderson's been a pest. He's seen a lot of pitches tonight. He's walked twice and struck out once. In fact, 23 pitches in total in his 4 trips to the plate, including that swing and a miss. Anderson, a longtime Marlin, trying to rediscover the magic with the Cheeseheads.
It was a hot start for Brian Anderson this year. Then he went on about a 17-game stretch where he was hitting around 170, didn't homer. He did break that streak last night with a solo shot.
He's held his own with 2 strikes. That's where he stands now. The pitch is pulled foul. Here we go again. Long to pat for Anderson.
Well, we'll see if Giovanni Gallegos follows that same pattern of showing the fastball up in the zone that Anderson ended up fouling off and then going right back to the slider down and away.
Got him over the outside corner, and Anderson says that was wide.
Well, he went away, didn't go with the slider, ended up with the fastball, and gets the call by Bruce Dreckman, the home plate umpire. 94 appeared to be just off the plate, but the punch out nonetheless. That's 3 in a row for Giovanni Gallegos.
Tell you what, for all the grief that Contreras has taken from time to time behind the plate, that ball was presented beautifully. See where he had the palm of the glove in the pocket?
Did a very good job.
Look at this last pitch. Look at how he receives this. Palm in, slight massage, got the call. That may not seem like a big deal. You get 8, 9, 10 of those in a game. That's huge.
Well, how many times early in the season could the Cardinals have used a stolen strike or 2?
And if you factor those in as strikes that are called, you get 3 outs, and you add that up over a series in a season. That's an appearance for a relief pitcher.
Well,
again, you're stealing.
You're doing math again. You lost me, but I trust you.
That's dangerous too. 2 balls, 2 strikes. But that's why that skill set is so important.
No, it is. And it has the ability to just kind of change momentums. If in big counts and in big situations, if you're able to manipulate the glove and your body and get in good positions, you just got so spoiled over 2 decades of watching the best do it.
Look, watching the guys that have manned that position in St. Louis, even in recent vintage. Molina, Mike Matheny, Darrell Porter, Ted Simmons. I mean, the list goes on and on. Tim McCarver, even Bob Uecker, Mr. Baseball. Tom Pagnozzi, another great Cardinal receiver.
A pretty good list, isn't it?
So Tyrone Taylor, who just missed hitting a home run, faces a 3-2. And he takes ball 4. The inning continues. So 2 hits and a walk for Gallegos. Caratini is the scheduled batter. He's 1 for 3. Second inning single, 2 strikeouts in his last 2 trips. And with that high pitch count for Gallegos, looks like Ollie's going to go get Giovanni Gallegos. Ryan Helsley's been warming up. Shouldn't take him long on a lovely night. He'll inherit a man aboard, 2-out spot in the 8th inning with the Cardinals leading 3-0. It's been excellent tonight for the Cardinals, and every manager appreciates that. Ollie will give Gio a pat on the leg and a handshake after an inning and 2/3 of 2-hit shutout ball. And Ryan Helsley now takes over. Brad, he's got Caratini scheduled here in the Brewers 8th.
Yeah, Ryan, your Chevy call to the bullpen, looking for 4 outs out of him. Last time out, it was Friday in Boston. He got 2 innings of work in, picked up the win in that ball game. So should be well rested for this affair to get 4 outs. And as we know, one of the more dominant relievers in the game. Got to feel comfortable with him in here.
Well, last night, Devin Williams broke out the airbender. Helsley maybe will break out the sonic boom here in the 8th and 9th with that blistering fastball. He has struck out 8 hitters in his last 7 innings. And sure enough, off speed for a strike.
Well, look, that's pitching, isn't it? Throw the thing they're not expecting. You're geared up for 102. You get 79 on the corner.
Just past 9 o'clock at Busch Stadium. Cardinals lead 3-0. And 0-2.
That really is almost unfair. You're looking for triple digits, and 2 benders just puts Helsley in the driver's seat.
No balls, 2 strikes. On Friday against the Red Sox, 19 of Ryan's 28 pitches were triple digits. Has yet to unfurl one of those. Shot towards second, but on a line. Gorman's got that. That was 100 with soft contact, and the Cardinals look to add on, leading 3-0. A lot riding on this mid-May game head-to-head between the Cardinals and the Brewers. Nolan Arenado got his 1,000th RBI. Corbin Burns pitched great. So did Matthew Liberatore, making his season debut. That, though, Brad, the decisive blow tonight.
Paul DeYoung with the dagger, the 2-run shot to center field on the cutter down. A look at the game summary. It was a nice game. 7 punch-outs for Corbin Burns. Love what we saw out of Matthew Liberatore, and Paul DeYoung with that bomb. Cardinals looking to lock this thing up. Hopefully add to it a little bit before they give it to Ryan Helsley again in the 9th. Jake Cousins, your Chevy called to the bullpen, in for his 4th game of the season. First appearance as you see since May 3rd.
When Miley went to the IL, Cousins was called up from Nashville, and he'll run into Nolan Arenado, who will try to extend his consecutive game streak with a homer to 6. The record in the major leagues is 8. Dale Long, Don Mattingly, and Ken Griffey Jr. all have done that. And then almost hit it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Chip, you had a front row seat to Ken Griffey Jr. doing that. What was that like?
Unreal. Line to line every night, and he almost hit a 9th in a row off Kevin Tapani that ricocheted off the yellow line at the Kingdome. He was something. The pitch. Taken for a strike.
It is so fun to watch somebody in the zone, you know, and that's what we're seeing right now with Nolan Arenado. As lost as he was for the first month, man, he is locked in now.
Well, you talked about it. Ollie Marmol talked about it. When the light goes on for Arenado, and he said his hands weren't synced with his lower body, and that had him all discombobulated. When the light goes on, it truly is video game stuff. I think that's a great comparison and description. He's been unreal. On the ground to third. Anderson's got that. And a low throw dug out nicely by Tellez. And Arenado's streak with a homer will come to a close. But he does have an RBI tonight, and the Cardinals are winning. Here's Contreras. He's 1 for 3. Cousins came to the big leagues riding high. He had the strikeout ball working for the Sounds. I think that's the name of the Nashville team, right?
Believe so. At least it was.
They change so often. He struck out 8 of the last 15 he saw. This one on the ground, though. 2 ground balls left side. And there's the second out. I know Jim Edmonds is a big fan of all those minor league nicknames. He loves the Trash Pandas. He loves the Jumbo Shrimp, but especially loves the Sod Poodles.
Sure does. I saw him rocking a Sod Poodle hat the other day. I mean, that guy's got all the minor league gear.
And here's Brendan Donovan. Donovan 2-hit night. Good for him. I think everybody's still a little bit sore over the way Donovan's at bat took place in the 8th inning. Right guy, right time. And he needs to reach to give Mercado a chance to bat for the first time this year. But it wasn't meant to be. The Brewers won a 1-run game, but the Cardinals came right back, got a first-inning run, and Liberatore and the bullpen have been awesome.
Yeah, it sure did feel like that was going to go the way of the Cardinals after Weimer misplayed that ball in center field. Really thought they'd come back. Didn't happen, but looking to seal up a series.
And these divisional games with the new schedule, there is an extra amount of heaviness to them, if you will.
I think it makes it fun. I really do. You only face him 13 times as Ryan Helsley looks on, ready for the 9th inning. You face him 13 times as opposed to 16. We know that the Cardinals had feasted on some teams in this division.
Lifted toward left. And that will send us to the 9th, where the stage is yours, Ryan Helsley. 3 outs to get to preserve a 3-0 Cardinals lead. For our Budweiser play of the game as we head to the 9th inning, and it came with the Cardinals shortstop at the dish.
That only makes sense. Paul DeJong is the guy. Got a cutter down. 2-run shot to center field. Cardinals get it done with 2 outs. That's where this game stands right now. 3-0. That swing of the bat made it.
So Ryan Helsley will try to attempt a 4-out save. Michael King of the Yankees has 3 of those. That leads everybody in Major League Baseball. And this is Ryan's 7th appearance of more than 1 inning, assuming he gets 3 outs in the 9th. Liberatore went 5+, 3 hits, no runs, struck out 6 in his season debut. Palante, a scoreless inning. Gallegos an inning and 2/3, and now Helsley will try to wrap it up as he's ahead of Jesse Winker.
Well, Jesse Winker does have a little history. 3 for 4 with a double against Helsley.
Ooh, that was close.
Man, a pitch that's been a strike all night long. Off the plate away. Doesn't get it there at 102.
Throw it there again. Instead, it's low, full count. Rick Doherty, our stat man upstairs. What would you say Rick did tonight? How would you evaluate his performance?
Look, I thought Rick, first of all, always puts it all out on the field every single night. gave us stats that just helped enhance the broadcast that we just pawned off as our own. I mean, everything was aces from Rick tonight.
So straight A for Rick tonight. The pitch is pop foul and out of play. We didn't ask Rick what his favorite Jimmy John sandwich is either. Maybe we can ask that tomorrow, as that man is hoping to earn his first win tonight of the season.
Yeah, well, this is Matthew Liberatore earned the opportunity to get back up here to the big leagues and took advantage of it tonight in this ball game.
That's outside, a leadoff walk. And that's what Ollie said before the game. Perfect world. Liberatore comes in, pitches great, does it again 6 days later, and makes the Cardinals ponder some difficult decisions.
For sure. Like you have a few decisions. Do you want to keep going with a 6-man rotation? Who does he beat out in this rotation? Like if he keeps throwing the ball well, that is a welcomed problem.
And the Cardinals plan to stick with this 6-man grouping until the end of the month. A scheduling quirk. Cardinals have a day off on Wednesday, May 31st, and then Thursday, June 1st, before going to Pittsburgh.
That never happens.
And I'm guessing that has to do with the London trip for the Cardinals, which comes up at the end of next month. But 2 days off back-to-back midweek is indeed something strange.
Yeah, I get it'll be welcomed at the time after the long slate of games beforehand. So the 6-man rotation, it really did hinge on the way that Liberatore threw the ball today. If things did not go well, I think that they would have adjusted their course.
That's lifted foul by Turang. And the count to him. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This is a very important hitter in the game. You don't want to bring the potential tying run to the plate. Did he go? Nope. It's 2-2. Big pitch. Lifted toward left. Mercado on the run near the netting and won't have a play. Tell you what, one thing that's impressive about this guy is he's tough to beat with any pitch. He'll just fight it off, foul it away, flip the bat, and try to force a mistake.
Yeah, super annoying. the way that he goes about it. We saw Turang yesterday in the ball game, his first 3-hit game, and none of it was hit hard, but he just fights things off.
On the ground toward third. The Cardinals get 1, and Turang is at first after Winker is forced. Smart play there. Don't try to force the issue. Get the first out and give Helsley another crack. And here's Miller. Got to figure out how to get this guy out. He's reached base now in 19 straight games. He's got 2 more hits in this one. 23 hits in that 19-game stretch. Make it another. A 3-hit night, and now you've got trouble.
Well, when you're facing Ryan Helsley, you better be ready for the fastball. That's exactly what Miller was. It was 99 right down the middle. Ground ball base hit.
Contreras is 0 for his last 10 with runners in scoring position. He hits with 2 on, 1 out. And he is 0 for 4 in tonight's game.
He's been a ground ball machine too. Ryan Helsley, not necessarily a ground ball pitcher. When you throw something down in the zone, it's going to be tough for Contreras to elevate it. And 6 double plays Contreras has hit into with all those ground balls that he's been serving up.
One ball, 1 strike. Brewers are 2 for 19 in this series with runners in scoring position. They've left 10 on base. They've got 2 more out there in the ninth in a 3-run game. And a strike. One ball, 2 strikes. Strike 3. Pulled a string on it. That's a lot to cover, isn't it?
Well, 2 pitches ago, got away with the backup slider. This one, the perfect slider at 89 miles an hour. It's right there on the corner to get the punch out.
And now the Cardinals are 1 out away from their 3rd straight series win. Two out of 3 against the Cubs, swept the Red Sox, and now on the cusp of taking 2 out of 3 from Milwaukee and evening the season series head-to-head with the Brewers. Little pop towards short, and that's going to do it. Cardinals win the series. They shut out Milwaukee and pick up another game in the Central Division race.
The Cardinals knew they had a tough task going up against Corbin Burns, but Matthew Liberatore gets the victory. He matched him pitch for pitch. Paul DeYoung with a big swing of the bat to make it 3-0, and the Cardinals bullpen made it stand up. What a series it was for the Redbirds.
They shut out Milwaukee and won't see him again until September 18th when the Brewers come to Busch for a 4-game series, and you know those games will be even bigger. Liberatore and the Cardinals shut them out 3-0 your final. It'll be a happy Cardinals post-game show, and that's coming up next.